Path of Exile 2 Dawn of the Hunt got insanely massive endgame, with loads of content, and if you are still feeling overwhelmed with your passive skill tree from your character, it's time to start worrying, because there is one more passive skill tree for endgame. But don't worry, I got you covered. Hail and Mesh's Kingdom, it's me, Spaza King, and today I'm not only explaining to you what is available to you in endgame, but I'm giving real, no BS advices on how to progress this part of the game, how to have fun here, how to not get lost, with real working strategies. So let's jump straight into where it begins. After finishing up 3, you will find yourself in Ziggurat Refuge. There's a lot of players right now with you, and you will find Doriani. He will give you Waystone. Waystone will be of tier 1. You probably already found few. They look exactly like this. And all you need to do right now is to go and touch map device. In my experience, you need to touch it 2 times actually, and you will find yourself located right over here with a lot of fog of war nearby. So what to do right now, it's actually pretty simple. That's how endgame works. You choose the map, for example Rust Bowl, and maps is basically any of this circle node. If they not highlighted, you can't go to them, but if they highlighted, you can go to them. You will have basically a bunch of them to choose from, and now you just need to press on it, choose your waystone and drop it inside. Then you can open it and the map will start. So there's a bunch of information over here for each map. Depending on what waystone you're choosing, you will have different monster level, basically area level. So if you're already at like level 75, waystone number 1 is not what you want to go for. Maximum that will drop is level 79, it will be waystone 15. And while there's like 4 slots over here, you can actually use only one waystone, so don't get fooled, you can't combine them. Now, what is actually waystone is? Waystone will tell you how much revives you will have. Normal waystone will give you 5 revives, and it will look like this. You will have bunch of portals, so whenever you die in maps, don't worry, you can basically restart from checkpoint and finish it later. After you play the map, waystone will be gone, or if you fail the map. So what to do if you're out of waystones? Again, it's pretty easy. You just need to go and talk with Doriani. He will sell you waystones, and shop will refresh every level up as normal shops, and also every day. The biggest question you may have is where to go, and that's actually kinda answered in the game. Doriani will ask you to go and find corruption. Corruption is this red icon on your minimap, on your atlas map basically, and you just need to travel towards corruption. Corruption will change map properties. It can add some different modifiers, it will be harder with different additional monsters, so that's something you need to know. But also, as you can see, there's a lot of icons. You're probably overwhelmed if you never played this late game, but don't worry, everything one by one. Initially you will have maps like this, basically without any other additional stuff. And the first thing you need to do is to understand how to keep your waystones alive. Yeah, you can buy them, but again, you don't want to do it, you want to keep them alive. And to keep them alive, everything you need to do is to actually complete the map. Complete the map, you just need to destroy all elite enemies on this, all rares, and map will be complete. That's simple. Next up, how to advance waystones. And actually it's pretty simple. So you will play waystone number 1, tier 1, and you will get waystone tier 1 in the end of the map no matter what. Also you will drop a bunch of them when you're playing. To advance through the maps, there's 2 options actually. Waystones is same as normal items, so you can drop Orb of Transmutation to upgrade it, and they also got prefixes and suffixes. Prefixes will be bonuses, for example this one got more rarity of items, and suffixes will be penalties basically. Monsters will deal extra cold damage. But at the same time, when you level up waystones, waystone drop chance will be higher. That's most important stuff. So basically, if you want more waystones dropped from monsters, you just need to play harder maps. But be careful, because as you see right now with 2 bonuses, we got 1 less attempt. So we will get harder and harder maps with less attempts, and if we upgrade it even more, we will have 3 attempts. So as you can see, as normal maps, we can basically make waystones to a rare tier as normal items, up to 6 total prefixes and suffixes. But that's not it, you can advance it basically pretty easily by just going into Reforging bench and activating it. That's it. So 3 waystones tier 1 will go and become waystone tier 2. So you can get bunch of tier 1s, convert them and create tier 2 from them in Reforging bench. By the way, if you're like complete beginner and you just beat beat the campaign and for some reason you don't have this reforging bench, you just need to go to Act 3 and find locations called Molten Vault. You will find this location by going on foot from Drowned City. Defeat the boss and you will have reforging bench, just in case. So now, second way to advance is actually to defeat bosses. Bosses is really easy to find by finding maps with this icon. So this icon over here is map boss. It's the bosses you saw in the campaign, in Trials of Sigmas. You should already met them at least once. So dropping map, opening, and then getting straight into Steaming Springs. So you will see these skulls on the minimap, and it's locations of elite enemies. When you play normal map, you just need to destroy them. When you play in boss map, you actually can go and rush towards the boss if you kinda get an idea where the boss is located, or if you will find him pretty fast. Better to actually go and destroy first all rare enemies and then go towards the boss, even if you find him before. Because last elite will drop waystone of current tier no matter what until around like tier 11 waystones. At tier 11 it's a little bit slowed down, but we will combat pretty easily. You will basically never miss the boss on the map, at least you should not miss the boss, because when you find waypoint that glows in orange, this means that's the boss pit, basically arena with the boss. So before going to this pit, just go and find last elite enemy. We can open the big map and see where the last enemy is located. So here's our friend, our last elite enemy. We destroy him and he will spawn another checkpoint, so you can just go and teleport instant. When you're entering the boss, you also can retry basically and try to fight him multiple times. So what's up, boss? Boss is deleted, and by the way, you can check all my builds on the channel, and this boss is a lot harder than he will be in your maps. This boss got like 1.5 million HP, but that's because I leveled up my bosses. So yeah, you can level up bosses pretty easily, but more on that later. Basically, progress through waystones in early game, in early end game. If you're feeling okay, just go and rush bosses, play them, and you will get waystones of next tier really easy. How to do it even faster, I will explain right after we will talk about how to progress through Atlas. Okay, so normally you're like moving around, you're upgrading your waystones, but where to actually move to upgrade your Atlas? So to do it and upgrade your Atlas, and basically by this I mean unlock passive points to put in here, and this will increase your progress even more because you will get more rarity of items, you will get quantity of waystones, and a lot of cool bonuses. So to do it, you just need to go clear corruption. That's it, clear corruption, and you will have basically this quest on the screen most of the time, and it will say what tier of waystone should be inserted to clear corruption. So for example, I'm right now at tier 5+, so you can have tier 5 waystone or like any higher tier will work. And you don't need to clear all corruption, you need only to find this corrupted nexus. Corrupted nexus will be with this icon. It's big red icon. It will be a corrupted boss location, and it works like that. You basically clear all enemies over here, and then after clearing last elite enemy, like boss or rare enemy, corrupted boss will spawn. And to play this map, you need a really hard map, so you can't go with easy one. As you can see, you can't start this map like this. So we need to at least make it yellow, but even this is not enough. Sometimes you need to drop Exalted Orb on top to finally activate this map. You will see that you're in corrupted map instantly because they got these worms, red worms all over the place, but corruption. So we found the boss. He will be last elite on this map. Boss is the same like on the previous map, the same map basically. So we're destroying this boss, but being careful at the same time, because after we will win this awesome fight, there will be like a little bit of problem for us probably, since we will summon corrupted boss, and there are like 4 unique bosses probably, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 5. Again, here is the corrupted boss, and after we will defeat him, yeah, he was easy by the way, Dariani will spawn, he will cleanse the corruption, and we will get core of knowledge. So that's basically the key to level up your Atlas. You just eat it from inventory, and tada, 2 Atlas points. So where to put your points? That's the biggest question you may find, and what I would to suggest you to actually start instantly to get a little bit of quantity of waystone. So while this update actually, I would say, don't require a lot of quantity of waystones because you get nice support of them, when you start to go to like tier 11 till 12, you will notice that bosses stop to drop waystones all the time, so it's harder to advance. You just need to like feed like 5 bosses in a row to get your waystone of next tier, and I started by advancing through tiers first. It was my first strategy. So my first basically like 2 points was into quantity and and rarity over here, and then I dropped 2 points into 10% increased quantity of waystones, and then I went over here to local knowledge. I like this part because it gives a lot more barriers and ultimatums, it gives more jewels, more gold, more basic currency from different maps. That's just a big one. And there's another way how you can progress through Atlas. It's actually through unique maps. Basically, you see the unique map on the screen right now. There's different kinds of unique maps, and every unique map, when you complete it, will give you same stuff that will give you 2 extra points for your Atlas. So we got total of 40 points, 15 from completing Nexuses of 15 tiers, and then 10 points for 5 unique maps. That's how you basically go through the Atlas. More on the Atlas setup in the next, but right now let's finally talk about the last part of the end game basic content. Yeah, so as you can see right now, all corruption game cleansed areas. It's different areas, it will have different monsters, different drops, pretty fun one. But what you need to care about is actually different content, and that's the content basic. We got Breach, we got Delirium, we got Ritual and Expedition. You already know the bosses, and all of this content can also be leveled up in your Atlas tree. And let me guess, you're probably already a little bit lost over here in the end game. So that's my strategy for beginning of the end game base. It will work if your character actually can beat bosses. So my strategy was pretty simple. I run only basic maps without any upgrades, flat, blue, or even like no upgraded waystone. And I went straight for the bosses. Basically, we're getting to the boss location with waystone tier 1, we're getting waystone tier 2 after defeating the boss, and now we're running tier 2 maps straight to next boss, then to the next boss, and so on until we reached tier 11. On tier 11 I got bunch of tier 1 maps bunked in my stash, and then I level up a little bit of Atlas passive tree, as I told you, in quantity of waystones over here and over here. Now bosses started to drop maps of high tier again, and I went straight to tier 15. So why it's important? Basically, even if you're trying to run, for example, like waystone tier 3 and it's super yellow, super cool with a lot of bonuses, it may even be hard map for you, but even lowest tier, like basic gray tier 15 waystone, will give you a lot better items, and that's what you're in the end game for. You are for items to get the best items possible with insane amounts of damage, resistances, and so on, to basically make your character as powerful as possible. So it's better to push as much as possible in maps, in my opinion, and then go and upgrade your Nexus. You can actually like combine 2 of the strategies, but what I did is I used these towers, and these towers help a lot to actually push through the content in no time. But before we talk about these towers, let's actually talk about content first, and another tip on how to set up your end game. You don't want to mess around too much, you want everything nice and tight over here in your hideout. So this hideout is a lot better than Ziggurat Refuge, and to unlock hideouts basically you need to go and find these special maps on your Atlas tree, and they will look like this. So Shrine hideout will unlock your shrine basically, and it's different types of hideouts. You can talk with Alva to select hideouts and basically change your hideout layout, and then you can edit, you can place stuff over here to make it more optimal. You can basically place everything in one screen over here, everything around you, but I like a little bit of space in my hideout. I like to move a little bit, but still setup is very useful and ergonomic. So here we get map device and well, in case we need to exit map and basically replenish our health. Straight from the map, when we're out, I'm running towards Doriani on top, speak with him, and he will identify my items. Then I will salvage stuff I don't need. I will drop in stash stuff that should be basically in stash that I'm dropping over here. Or in case I need to disenchant items, I talk with this bro, disenchanting my items, and in the end probably dropping something in my guild stash. If I got full inventory of the stuff, I got reforging bench over here, so I can reforge my runes and create better runes. If I'm playing Sikemas right now, so there's a relic locker over here, checking shop from time to time for good bases, and at the left part I got this bunch of guys from Expedition, and we will talk about Expedition basically right now. So let's go to map device and talk about content finally. Now we know how to advance through the maps, now we know my strategy, how I like to advance through the maps, through Atlas, through bosses, but now this extra content. We will start the map with Breach, Delirium, and Ritual. This icon over here is Irradiation, it gives area +1 level. So if you're dropping tier 15 waystone, you will have area level 80 instead of 79. And the first thing you will see if you got Delirium on your map is Delirium Mirror. Basically you touch it and you will be ambushed by delirious monsters. They are sometimes pretty powerful, so be careful in the beginning and get ready to roll. And advice is simple, you just go run through the map and destroy normal monsters. The delirium monsters will also arrive and you need to destroy them, and you will get this meter of delirium encounter. Try to raise it as high as possible. Some like normal numbers in the beginning will be around like 2, 3 will be okay. Try to aim for like 3 or 4 actually. It will be really good. It's hard to push to 5 without leveling delirium, but 4 is more than enough. 3 is also okay. You will get more points and more progress when you defeat delirious monsters, but normal monsters also advance progress a little bit. So technically there is nothing like hard with this activity, just be cautious because monsters sometimes are really powerful. And one more tip, if you see that you're in big danger, you actually can end encounter manually. And basically it works pretty easily. There is a delirium fog going on. You will see direction and it goes to the top left. When we're out of the fog, we will have timer. It will be 5 seconds. So I need to get back to the fog to continue playing this activity. And if I am standing outside of the fog for too much, then activity will end by itself. So in a few seconds we will get delirious drops and they will look like this. So what we're getting over here is simulacrum splinters as well as some distilled emotion. Distilled emotions can be used in 2 ways. Basically you can use them in crafting, just need to activate them, basically use them, and you can place up to 3 distilled emotions over here. You can use them on 2 things. First one is your waystones. Drop a waystone and you will instill different stuff based on color and name of your distilled emotion. For example, we will increase pack size and number of magic monsters. So pink one is for pack size, this one for 20% increased magic monsters. But also there is another way to use them, it's to instill emotions on your amulet. Right now as you can see there is no combination, but we can change combination and get a recipe. So we can have increased blind effect and blind enemies when they stun us. And after instilling, my amulet will have this property basic. Right now I got instilled overwhelming strike and it's located over here. That's basically how to use instilled emotions. You want to find something that you can't get to on your passive skill tree because it's too far away, and then instill it. And you can inspect nodes to find a recipe. Basically that's Ire Guild Ire, over here Blinding Flash. Almost every big node can be crafted on your amulet, so that's a way how to get like big power up for your character. Splinters, what to do with them? Stack of 300 will be combined to make simulacrum, and simulacrum is the path towards boss area of this activity. To go and participate into activity, you just can use shortcuts, find your hometown, and that's where his activities is going. Basically you need to press on the Realm Gate and use big simulacrum that is made from 300 splinters to open the Realm Gate and play activity. In Delirium it's 15 waves of enemies with some bosses. It's pretty hard, so get ready and make sure you're powerful enough. But if you beat these bosses and finish activity, you will get 2 points towards Delirium. Then you can spend them over here in Atlas, and then you will increase difficulty of Delirium encounters as well as getting like some bonuses. For example, you can make that waystones you will find in your maps will be with instilled emotions applied. You may have more drops of distilled emotions or have like easier progress and stuff like that. If you want to progress through Delirium more, then just use your distilled emotions on your waystones and don't overdo it, because whenever you drop them you're becoming delirious, and delirious means you will be assaulted by illusions, but also you will deal less damage and they will deal more damage. So you're making your maps harder but for better drops, and also they will drop this simulacrum splinters, so you will go into the boss area a lot faster. And that's what you need to understand in the end game. You need to like decide what activity you are going for and to try to chase it as fast as possible. You can go for all of them. Actually in this patch it's totally possible to go for all activities, but try to not be overwhelmed, focus on one activity and enjoy and have fun. So now let's talk about next activity. It will be Ritual, one of my favorite. It's really fun and cool. Sometimes it's tough, sometimes it's not, depending on your character. So Ritual will be basically the same as in Act 1. In a free turn you need to interact and Ritual will begin, and you always need to read what will happen. So for this map we will have waves of blood passing through the Ritual site. We activate it and we we are ready for Waves of Blood. The big tip for ritual will be is to actually defeat monsters before you start ritual, because every time you start ritual, monsters you defeated before will be revived over here, and you will gain tribute. So gain more tribute, make sure to defeat monsters around ritual site first, and then press on ritual. After completing one site, you will have shop with bunch of goodies you can buy for tribute. There could be like 3 or 4 sites of rituals. You need to clean all of them. You will get drops from the last one, but most importantly, you unlock more shop options in ritual itself. For ritual, my biggest tip will be to make sure you get some chaos protection, because right now we got physical ritual with blood globs basically on the floor. Most rituals will have a lot of chaos damage, so mostly a mix of physical and chaos damage. As you can see, we got a bunch of extra items right now to choose from, and also we got new type of items. So it's of course omens. Omens is pretty cool. There's a bunch of them. There's some really strong ones that will help you keep your experience, or even ones that will be used in crafting, but also some pretty basic that will modify how your regal and exalted orbs work. As you can see, one more shop will unlock next part of items, I mean one more ritual. And don't forget, if you're out of flasks, make sure to come back to your hideout and replenish your flasks. It's completely free, you don't losing your portals. So we see full shop, and what we are looking for here. Yeah, there's a bunch of items that you may want to buy, but most importantly, we are looking for extremely powerful omens that will help us craft our weapons, but at the same time for advancing through ritual itself. We need audience with the king. So if you don't find it over here, you can actually reroll your favors. You can do it one time normally without any bonuses, but then you will be able to do it 2 times, and it costs 1000 tribute normally. So we're rerolling, and now we're looking, is it over here? No, it's not. What to do if you like one of the items, but you don't have tribute right now and there is no more rituals, since there could be really cool and powerful items that you want to buy. The easiest solution is to use defer. Defer is basically keeping this item for the next shops, and it will appear from time to time by paying a little bit of fee, but also it will be cheaper next time. And that's actually how you get your next items later, like ritual with the king, audience with the king will probably cost a lot. So you will need to basically find it once, then defer it, and then find it again, and do it again and again and again, basically until you will be able to buy it finally. When you find audience with the king, use Realm Gate, you will fight with this king and unlock ritual points that you can spend over here, increase chance to have audience with the king. Next one is fan favorite, Breach. Breach is cool. It was the only good activity in previous season, but right now I would say I enjoy almost every activity in the end game. They all is kind of fixed to become even more fun and cool to play. So Breach is simple. You just touch this hand and it will expand. Monsters will come out of nowhere and you need to destroy them. They will drop breach splinters, breach catalysts, as well as breach rings. Also you will find these collapsed hands, just touch them and they will drop these splinters, or even some nice drops like breach rings also. So tip for this activity is to actually go into wide open area, try to be as fast as possible, and move around edge. Move around edge and just move, never stop. You will get your loot later. This way, by going through the big radius and then going backwards, you will find a lot more monsters, and the idea here is extremely simple. You just need to go and get these breach splinters. That's actually the only thing you're looking for in breaches, as well as some precursor tablets. You can get precursor tablets for every activity you're finding basically and you're playing. More on that in the next part. But right now, what we can do in breaches. Breaches basically, again, it works same as Simulacrum. You get 300 splinters and you can enter into the boss map and fight versus boss. For breach, my biggest tip is to be sure your character can wipe screens pretty easily. For this, you need good build with extremely good clear. If your build can't clear nicely, make sure to go on my channel and check builds. I got build for every class that can clear enemies and bosses pretty easily. But we got one more activity, of course, and it's no other than expedition. To play expedition, first of all, you need to find it on your map. Flags. So these flags and weird stuff. That's where expedition starts. Make sure to clear area around a little bit. It will be a lot easier for you and a lot safer. So what's going on here? You will find a bunch of characters. You can't interact with them, at least for now. Right now you can't do anything and you won't be able to interact in the map, so it doesn't matter. But there's detonator. What to do with this? So there's actually three things going on. First of all, there's chests. Chests will be in this little flags basically, but biggest one and most important with best loot will be in this big location with big expedition icon. Also there's flags. Little flags will spawn little monsters, the big flags with blue stuff on it will spawn runic monsters. They are a little bit more powerful, sometimes they are actually rare or magic at least. And there's modificators. Modificators with a bunch of text on them. And you want to be extremely precise on these yellow ones, orange ones. Orange is most powerful modificators. And as you can see here, monsters will be immune to physical damage. I'm not doing physical damage, so I can take it. That's fine. And on top we will have penalty. On bottom we will have our reward. So we don't need to spawn them with missing health. We don't care too much. But what we want to do is to find more items, more rare items. But most importantly, we want to find expedition logbooks. If there is no expedition logbooks, look for quantity of items dropped and also artifacts in excavated chests. So now you can place explosives and you just need to be sure that your explosive touches whatever you want. So I want these bonuses in excavated chests, and how it works, basically you can't go farther than like 5 meters between each explosion. So you need to plan ahead where you will place them. And my main idea is to touch all excavated chests over here. So we will have this increased rarity, increased quantity, and some runic monsters. We will take this big chest over here, and maybe we will take some like runic monsters, maybe they will drop something. So we got 5 explosives with touch detonator, and you can stand over here if you wish to, but it's very dangerous. What I really recommend you to do is to go away, run away, and be in the safe position first, and then try to like fight away from the safe location. That's the biggest tip how to survive this encounter actually. And here we are, the runic monsters. You will see it on the health bar, it will say runic monster, and we got expedition precursor tablet, as you can see. So why it's nice to stay away? Because this lady, this ritual expedition guy will always help you fight versus monsters, and as you can see there's a big fight going on, some nice brawl. Let's help them finish it faster. So fight finished, what to do now? Now we check the loot. Excavated chests will drop some nice currency, nice drops sometime, but most importantly we're looking for artifacts, of course. And don't worry, they drop a lot of stuff. I just got nice and strict loot filter, so if you're looking for a lot of stuff, there's actually a lot of stuff going on here, but I'm completely ignoring stuff that is lower than level 81 right now, so that's not for me, sorry. And here we got 2 types of drops in every expedition. We got artifacts and exotic coinage. These 2 like items is really important and they are unique to expeditions. But how to use these new types of currency? After you interact with these guys, you actually will find them in your hideout. And by the way, layout of hideout can be easily copied. If you want to mine, just join my Discord and write a comment over here in this video. I want your hideout and I will post it over there. So these guys will have different items based on their artifacts. And exotic coinage can be exchanged through Danik. You just go and buy items and buy items. And there's 4 types of currency. 3 of them will be dependent to these 3 guys, and one, the leader of expedition, is Danik. He will be operating with sun artifacts, and you can buy different types of currency from him. So you can basically pick whatever currency you like. So this expedition guys operate pretty interestingly. Let's talk with Gwenon, for example. She will sell you a bunch of different weapons, and she is like a normal trader. You want to check with her from time to time, and maybe you will find some good choices. And you can buy these items just for 1 artifact, that's it. But you can instantly buy it, just take your item, or you can do different changes to it. They will also have some cost. For example, for 1 more artifact, I can reroll suffix modifiers, and I will do it, or I can skip it. If you skip it, you can't skip the next one. So this one is really good. I got tier 1 suffix on this bow, so we definitely don't need this tier 1. We can instantly upgrade it, and we got mana per enemy kill. So we got insanely good rolls right now on this crossbow, and we can do 1 more upgrade for 3 artifacts. That's pretty good. Now we need to decide, do we want to reroll suffixes or not? Again, this stuff is completely random, and we can reroll suffixes again. I don't want to reroll, I just take this item, and this crossbow looks like pretty good actually. Sadly no critical damage bonus, but this one is pretty nice. And these guys work by the same rules, but the small one will sell you some armors, basically boots, armors, gloves. The smallest one, tiny shiniest guy will sell you amulets and belts. So if you don't like what traders have, you don't need to wait until you level up. You can use exotic coinage to reroll shops. So you just reroll and change what he get. Maybe there is something interesting, but most of the time that's waste of time. So there's a new machine over here, Recombinator. Recombinator is insanely cool and fun to use, and it also you will use same artifacts depending on what you want to recombinate. It works extremely easy. You just drop 2 items and they should be same type, so it should be 2 belts basically, and they should be at least blue, at least magic, with at least 1 modifier. And to start recombination you just need to pick at least 1 bonus from each side. So this one, for example, I like stun threshold, it's okay for me I guess, and I want this high tier armor roll. This combination will cost me 23 black size artifacts and chance for success will be 61%. The more bonuses you will choose, the less chance for success will be, and the higher tier of bonuses you want to choose, the less chance will be also. But again, that's the price to get best in slot perfect items basically. The type of final item will also be random, so it can be utility belt, it can be fine belt. If you want to make sure, just use same type of item, and that's how it looks in action. For example, I want this gloves with some nice armor and energy shield with lightning resistance, tier 7 roll and fire resistance. It will cost 19 artifacts, chance to success is 6%, and probably it will fail, but not this time. We actually succeed. No. It will stay yellow if you succeed, but if you fail, items are lost forever. So make sure you know what you're doing and don't lose your valuable items that you can craft or sell. As I told you, there is one more thing in Expedition, and it's of course Expedition map that will use Expedition logbooks. That's most valuable thing from Expedition, and you can even sell Expedition logbooks for around 10 exiles right now. They will be higher price probably if some builds will require different items from Expedition, and it works like this. So you place this item into Expedition map, you choose what map you want, and it doesn't matter actually at all unless there's additional underground areas. So that's what you want to look for, additional underground areas. And it will be the same expedition as in the maps, but with a twist, a little twist. A little twist is you will have 20 explosions, and the map is actually big. There's a lot of expedition chests that will drop you valuable stuff. Like this will drop armors, this will drop weapons, and you basically guaranteed to have some items, but what you are looking for actually is for secret stuff on the map, and this secret stuff will look like this. So just take a look over here, it's right on the minimap, and this big skull on minimap is what you're looking for. That's the boss location basically. You will always start placing your explosives near the main camp, and when you find the boss, you basically want to go for the boss. That's the pinnacle boss of Expedition. Again, for Delirium, you just collect 300 Deliriums. For Breach, that's the same. But here you need to find this place, this location of the boss, and blow it up. One explosion is enough. I will place other stuff on over here basically to get some additional loot, and we are ready to fight. It should be same rules as normal bosses. Basically, when you never upgraded your Atlas tree, when you never fought the bosses, it will be first difficulty, and you will have like 5 attempts to defeat the boss. It will be also easier than later. But next time you will face this boss, it will be a lot harder and he will be a lot stronger. Also, you will find this boss encounter only at level 80 or 79 Expedition logbook, and you won't be able to find it on lower levels. So that's why I really suggest you going through my strategy and advancing through waystones first. With high level waystone, you will always drop the 79 or level 80 Expedition logbooks from Expedition and level up your Expedition progress. By the way, when you are on the maps, don't forget you can actually corrupt or at least improve drops from these strong boxes. They're really cool, just make sure you upgrade them and the drops will be a lot bigger. So let's have a proper fight. By the way, it's my favorite arena in a boss fight actually. I like this one, but boss is pretty hard, at least was in previous patch. mostly because he got 2 forms. So he will revive right now. Oh my goodness, I missed. And he's done. Always, these pinnacle bosses, how they called, will drop some nice and cool uniques, and they are unique only to them. So to get uniques from Orlot, of course you need to fight Orlot, you can't get them in other ways. And after eating a book from him, we can finally increase power of our expedition. And that was all the content you need to be aware of when you start an endgame, and how you need to play it. But your map will look something like this, you know, maps without content, or with just one encounter. There's actually a way how you can make your map look something like this. You see, every map with a lot of content, with a lot of fun, with a lot of bonuses, with more experience, gold and other stuff. And the key to do it right is these towers. Yeah, these towers actually help me to rush through the bosses and advance a lot faster. And that's how they look like. Basically, you go towards the tower, and the tower is also a map itself. And it's pretty well described in the game. You need to place waystone over here and complete the map. If you drop normal waystone, you will have this slot unlocked. If you will have waystone with 3 modifiers, you will have 2 slots. With 6 modifiers, you will have 3 slots. We're going for 3 modifiers right now, so basically we're dropping waystone and just dropping exiles until we unlock our slot. And we want to finish the map. That's basically what we want to do. Of course, it will be harder when waystone is harder, and you will have only 1 attempt or maybe like 2 attempts. So be careful and make sure you are ready. And the idea is always the same. You just need to go upwards to the top of the tower and activate precursor beacon. Another tip for endgame, and that's the big one, you will encounter a lot of different enemies, and it could be almost any type of enemy, almost on any type of map. Sometimes you will have pretty awful guys that can, for example, drop a bleed on you, that can go through the energy shield. Sometimes, like in this map, you will have ghosts that can freeze you, and that's why I really suggest you to always have different charms in your inventory. Basically, when you're going into the end game, you want to activate strong boxes, as you saw in the expedition part of this video. You want to upgrade them, you want to corrupt essences and stuff like that. And that's why I always having my towing charm that will protect me from being frozen, but normally I'm running with this rarity charm. And when I'm unlucky, I'm on the map with guys who can freeze me, I'm prepared and I'm not panicking basically, because I can destroy them pretty easily and be protected from the frozen state. Eventually we'll find checkpoint, precursor beacon, and map completed. All you need right now is to have some precursor tablets ready, and you already should have some. They probably dropped, or in the end game actually these guys will always give you some precursor tablets so you can use them on the tower. The main idea again is to try to beat the tower with highest and hardest map possible. More importantly, you want to open all 3 slots most of the time. The higher tier of the stone, the more powerful these tablets will be. As you can see, it will increase number of influenced maps by 99%. Basically, it will double it. So normally, for example, this bridge will only affect 12 maps in range, and it will make 12 maps with breach. But if I place it in the tower, it will affect 23 maps with breaches. And that's basically how I started and elevated my waystones in just few maps. I found the first tower and just completed it with tier 1 waystone with full modifiers. So I unlocked all 3 slots and dropped precursor tablets with bosses. Therefore I got like 9 or 10 maps with bosses, and that was enough to go straight to tier 11, tier 12 maps by following first strategy. Then maps stopped to drop basically. It was a lot harder to drop. I went straight for corruption and cleansed corruption and get some special maps on my way. This gave me enough points to get more quantity of waystone dropped in my maps. So now I just finished few bosses and basically maxed out my waystones to tier 15. Now I'm clearing tier 15 maps and getting tier 15 waystones all the time, so it's easy to keep them alive all the time. And now I only need to decide what is my strategy. And the strategy for endgame is pretty simple. You just need to go for towers and activate them and drop as much waystones as much tablets as possible. So here's the deal. Basically, there's two ways how you can play this stuff, and there's two strategies. I would say first strategy should be this. You need to mix tablets. Just mix and play all content. And here's like how idea will look like. Basically, you got tower number 1, you got tower number 2, they are nearby, and this circle around the tower, as you can see, this circle will overlap with each tower. You can see easily the circles, and there's actually a few maps in the middle of 3 towers. This is called juiced maps. When you just unlock tower number 1, tower number 2, and tower number 3, and just drop all precursor tablets in them, and if you're dropping only breach tablets, the breaches will be just insane. That's kinda one content strategy. You're just focusing only on one type of content and you milking it to the last drop. But at the beginning, while you're just starting out, I like to mix content. I like to have all types of content in my maps, and basically I'm dropping different content. I'm dropping expedition, ritual, and breaches. And look at this beauty. Now I get expedition, breaches, rituals all over the place. All of them are really powerful with a lot of bonuses, and we will have a lot of fun. The problem with strategy when you're mixing content is you're losing on bonuses from tablets a lot. So basically each tablet will have 2 bonuses, prefix and suffix, and prefixes is universal. They will be basically the same in each tablet, and they are kinda like can affect everything, most of the time at least. Yeah, like increased rare monsters in your maps. That's good. But suffix will always affect content. So for example, this breach tablet will give me more quantity of breach splinters dropped in my maps. And just imagine I'm dropping like 9 of these tablets and creating maps with double breach splinters or even triple breach splinters and stuff like that. At the same time, breaches will spawn additional rare monsters and so on and so on. So if you really want to elevate one type of content, that's what you want to do. But why I'm doing this stuff right now? Because that's how my strategy look like. I want to be in this place basically with Atlas 3, something like this at level 6. And now I finally got this precursor influence. It will increase quantity of precursor tablets found in my maps. At the same time, I got this quantity of items found in my maps. Just a little bonus. And that's what actually we want to have. And then we want to increase power of precursor tablets. And this will be last step. So at this step, I'm just clearing all the content. I'm getting more precursor tablets because the more content I will have on the map, the more different tablets I will accumulate basically. I will clear all this location, all these maps, and then I will move on. So this will give me a lot of precursor tablets if I took precursor influence. And then I will just choose one type of content. For example, there's 2 maps over here, 2 towers, there probably 1 more over here, and I will milk this area insanely insane with next type of content, and I will focus only on one. So that's how we want to like go through the content in my opinion. Now, Atlas setup. Basically, most important setup I just explained to you, but there is no best setup in this season, at least in my opinion. What you want to do is to have fun, and there's basically different branches on Atlas tree. My suggestion will be pretty simple. Just copy this initial path that I got. So you want this precursor tablets, you want this local knowledge, you want quantity of waystones and power of explicit modifiers on waystones. Also, waystones found will have chance to be high tier. I don't know if it's powerful, I will test, haven't tested yet, but basically pick the content you like on the maps. If you like rogue exiles, that's what I will go for. I like fighting them. You can go for rogue exiles and customize them. You can make them to always drop you dexterity items if you play a dexterity character. You can make them without unique jewelry, but most of the time with unique weapons and stuff like that. If you're going for crafting this season, then you can just increase chance to essences in your map, and you can increase chance of specific essences. For example, if you want to build your character around life modifiers, then that's the choice you want to make. If you like playing with Dawn of the Hunt mechanic, Azmeri spirits, then there's one for it. Maybe you like to open strong boxes, you can customize them. You will have more chance to have ornate strong boxes. and they will have improved item rarity, or cartographer strong boxes with more waystones, or research strong boxes with currency item drops. Shrines, I would stay away from them, but come on, do whatever you like. My initial plan is to go actually for increased precursor tablets power, so I can milk my maps more, and then I will go for rogue exiles for more fun, and then I will go for strong boxes just to test out and see how much value I can get from a researcher strong box. That's basically the idea. Now, you already know how to advance through each type of content, how to level it up. Basically, you collect some stuff, you defeat pinnacle bosses, and then it will be leveled up. It's nice to know that some content will drop you special keys, and to use the special keys you need to go to Reliquary Vault and drop the key over here, that's it basically, and you will get some loot. Again, you use Delirium Gate to access all pinnacle bosses from Expedition, from Ritual, and from Breach, but not from Expedition. Yeah, Delirium, Ritual, and Breach. Expedition, you just saw Expedition, how to find the boss. But how advance these three bosses? It's actually pretty easy. You will find first book for bosses when you find a boss at tier 15 map. The second book you will find when you fight boss in with tier 15 waystone, but also boss need to stay at this area, at area +1 to monster level. So basically you need to defeat boss at level 80 map. Area level 80 of course. The next point, however, can be achieved by played on map with +1 level, but you will need special waystone. It's of course tier 16 waystone. Yeah, you actually can have tier 16 waystone. It looks like this, and unlike other types of waystones that you can for example make in the reforging bench by combining tier stones of lower tier, 3 waystones of tier 15 won't combine into tier 16. The only way to make tier 16 waystone is to use while orb on your waystones. It's pretty low chance, so don't expect you will have a lot of them, but that's basically how it looks like. You may have higher tier waystone or lower tier waystone, or just same tier 15 waystone corrupted. Basically by corrupting waystones there's a chance to get this tier 16 waystone, but as you can see there is 6 out of 10 points right now. How to get to 10 out of 10? So 0.7 and 0.8 can be achieved only with specific circumstances. Previously every type of corruption was giving area +1 level. Right now there's different bonuses, so you need to be very lucky and find map like this. You need to find map with corruption or cleansed map, it doesn't matter. They can be with plus area level, and this area should be irradiated. So if you will find map with the boss and it stays on cleansed on corrupted map with +1 area level, try to find lost tower nearby, and then you will be able to irradiate this map. So these basic precursor tablets will irradiate maps and will give +1 level. To make sure you will get points, basically, where is this map? I just missed it. When they will release bookmarks, you need to press place waystone over here in the map and make sure it's monster level 82. This means we're in the correct map, so we can just try and get these points together with you. Also, these tier 16 maps will drop best loot possible, tier 5 loot most of the time, with some godlike rolls, tier 10 maximum life, item level 83 or even 84, and playing these maps is basically the way how to get most powerful items in the game, since they always drop with item level 82, 83 or even 84. It doesn't mean the item will be insanely powerful, but it got more chances to roll better rolls. So this one is really trash, but again, rolls is pretty big, and 40 plus resistance is only possible on these items of level 82 plus. This belt, by the way, is pretty good one, and most importantly you can find a lot of bases for your shoes, for your crafting, for stuff like that. Only shoes of level 82 plus can be with 35% increased movement speed. That's how I got this one. You just use Essence of Haste and drop it on your boots, and if you're lucky enough you will have highest roll possible for your movement speed. I'm not lucky this time, but again, that's how game works, at least for now. So let's see if we are able to get our upgrade. Yeah, he is done. Lords of the Pit defeated, and for some reason we don't have this awesome book, so actually I don't know how to level up yet this season. I would say it's pretty weird, but that's what we got over here, maybe some bugs. Anyway, 2 more points you can get by fighting ultra uber pinnacle boss, and to fight him you need to find these beacons on your atlas tree. You will find them also in Fog of War, so make sure to take a closer look in Fog of War. You may find these beacons, they got different different colors, and there's actually 3 of them. It's 3 campaign bosses. When you defeat them in the maps, they will drop fragments. There's 3 different fragments from each boss, basically different fragments, and after getting 3 of them, go to this location. It's always near your starting location. You will see it in the Fog of War. It's Burning Monolith. You go inside, you use 3 tablets, and then you will be able to go right over here and fight Arbiter of Ash, the ultra pinnacle boss, and after defeating him multiple times on multiple difficulties, you will be able to level up his part of the tree too. But also he will grant you 2 points for boss tree of the Atlas. And that's it. That's everything you need to know about Endgame, and that's all strategies you want to utilize to be effective and have a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this video, it was helpful, but to have more fun in Endgame you need some cool builds, and you may find my awesome builds Endgame ready on the screen right now, in the pinned comment and in the description, of course, for every class. See you in the next videos.